Time out.
He walked up behind her, grabbed a badge.
He had a badge.
And he said, "F off." He said, "I'll do whatever the I want." He said,
"You're at a bar where you can't have any weapons, right?"
No.
Yeah, right when you walk in, there's a sign that says no weapons allowed.
No, they never said anything. They
don't have to, there's a sign.
Well, I identified myself as a police officer.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I identified myself as a police officer. I said, hey, is it okay? He's like, yeah, you're good.
I doubt that.
Okay, whatever. You go f yourself. How about that?
You get about
no, it's not cool. But here's the deal. You're no.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like challenge me. I got it.
Other one. So he imitation. So he imitation, like he pulled out a bag for no reason.
I'm not bitching at you.
You better get your hand out of my face.
This gentleman right here is one of the ones that pulled the gun.
Shit, man, listen, bro. When I come up in there, I'm like, bro, check out. Like he like, I'll pull it out on you. He in the car. He in the car now. They took him to jail.
It's Investigator Jared Wall with the Georgia Post Council. It is April the 13th, 2023 at approximately 10:02 a.m. I'm going to attempt to call Lynn Scott Collum, former Griffin PD, regarding post case 006-076-0722.
Please leave your message.
Investigator Wall, Georgia Post Council.
Hi, this is Officer Callum. I'm sorry I missed your call.
Yes, sir. Investigator Wall from Post. I have an open investigation that I'm conducting due to your Alabama arrest, your Florence Alabama arrest. Were you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. You have a few minutes to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you represented by an attorney in this matter?
It's in the actual arrest portion?
Well, just the post matter.
No, sir.
The civil post matter.
No, sir.
Do you feel comfortable talking to me?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I just want to do is just speak with you and just get an interview of the instances that happened there in Florence at I believe it was the Flobama.
Yes, sir.
And if you'll just be as detailed as possible and let me know what went on, what you did, what you said, how you acted towards the officers, and really what your actions were that night.
Nope, let me tell you exactly what happened. So, well, let me just go ahead and start off by saying that I take responsibility for what happened. It was not intentional, but at the end of the day, I could have made a better choice. So what happened is we had went to a family reunion. I had worked so many hours, and the family invited me to a family reunion. We went to Alabama that day to go to this reunion, and it was also a birthday party for one of the relatives. So we went to Alabama that day. We drove up there that day. I had nothing to drink, no alcohol, no nothing. On the trip up there, we went to dinner. I had dinner. I ate a full meal. I had half a beer. I didn't even finish the beer. Then we went to the Marriott to watch one of the relatives sing, and she performed. So we went to the Marriott and we watched the young lady sing. Everything was fine. I had a half a beer there as well. Didn't finish it, right? So we got ready to leave. They wanted to go to Flobama. I wasn't aware of what that was, which is one of the reasons why I have to take responsibility, because I normally check myself. Whenever I go somewhere or I know what's going on, I always check myself and I make sure I do the right thing. We had just gotten out. I was just having a good time with family and friends. I didn't ask myself the question, hey, or ask them, we're just talking and people would introduce themselves and they were like, hey, welcome, glad to meet you. And I just got wrapped up. And so we went in there and I did have my badge on me and my concealed, my own personal weapon, right? So I didn't ask myself at the time, hey, check yourself. Do I need to figure out what I do? Leave my stuff in the trunk? I did not do that. I just got wrapped up in having a good time with meeting people. Uh-huh. So we go in there, investigator. I ordered one drink, and I'm going to just be straightforward with you. I ordered one drink, and I was drinking the drink, and I'm watching the band play. We've been there for maybe 30 minutes. I'm watching the band play. I'm not kidding you, totally blacked out. went totally black, had no idea what happened. All I know is I woke up in their county jail, had no idea what happened. So the people that were with me, which was a fellow officer and some family and friends, they believed that I had got roofied or something got slipped in my drink because I didn't have anything. Totally went blank. When I read the report, I was completely in shock. Like I've never, in my 30 years in the military and my years as a law enforcement officer, have ever put myself in a position where that would happen. And somehow it did. I have absolutely no recollection of what happened. So I immediately called TRICARE and I said, hey, I think I got roofied. How do I check? And they were like, it's too late. It's already been too long. It's not going to be in your system. Have no idea what happened. I never act like this. I talked to, and I have a couple names I can give you and some numbers of people that you can call that were there. They believe that I got roofied. They didn't see me do anything inappropriate. I totally I guess I just yelled at this officer, and I have no recollection. I can't lie. And I'm not making excuses, but you know, like I told my chief, I took responsibility for it. I've already paid all the fines. I didn't get anything but a fine. I paid the fines and everything. But I felt like, you know, if I would have just, like I always do, if I had just took the 5 seconds to check myself real quick to make sure everything was good, which I didn't. I had worked so many hours and I was just enjoying family and friends that I just didn't check myself completely.
Gotcha. Let's go back. What, say you had a half a beer at the Marriott, and then when you
Correct.
got to Flobama, what did you order?
I ordered a Crown and Coke.
A Crown and Coke. And did you watch them make it and hand it to you?
He did. And there was people in the bar, and I was standing by the bar, and I know not to do this. And I set my drink down by me, and I'm watching the band. So later on, one of the girls, one of my witnesses on my side said, hey, there was a girl standing behind you. She kept staring at you. She kept talking to you, but you wouldn't talk to her, and you ignored her. You wouldn't say anything to her. And you just was watching the band. She goes, I think she put something in your drink. I can't prove that, and I'm not going to make that as an excuse, investigator. At the end of the day, honestly, sir, I've asked myself 100 times. What happened? You know, what caused me to do this? But at the end of the day, the answer is I should have did the right thing and checked myself before I went in. So I have no excuse, zero excuse whatsoever.
What do you mean by checking yourself?
So before I do anything, you know, I've been in the Army for 30 years. Before I do anything, I always know where I'm going and what I'm doing and who I'm going to associate myself with and what the plan is. I always make sure that I know, because I know my actions affect the people around me. So I make sure that I'm always safe. Like if I know I'm going to drink at a restaurant, I have a designated driver. If I know I'm going into a bar, I don't take my badge, I don't take my gun, I don't take anything. And I don't go to bars very often. I haven't been in a bar probably 4 years until I went out with them. So I normally just stay home. I work, do my job, but I didn't this time, and I just got a little bit lackadaisical and just got enjoying the time, and I did not pay attention to what I was doing. I did not, which is very upsetting to me, because I pride myself on always doing the right thing, which is why I'm in law enforcement. And somehow I didn't pay attention. I know not to set my drink on the bar. I know not to keep my eye, or, to not watch it. And I just did not that night. I just listening to the band and having a good time talking to people. And I slipped up. And at the end of the day, I just got to tell myself, hey, you could have been a little bit more responsible, and this probably would not have happened. So I told the judge the same thing, and I said, I paid all the fines off. He didn't give me anything but that. So yeah, for about a year now, it's just been on my mind. Like, I just wish I would have made a smarter decision, investigator, and I didn't. And I feel like it's my responsibility to take ownership of it, because I'm gonna be honest. Let me just be straight with you. I feel like I really let you down. Like, it's embarrassing for you to have to investigate me when you've given me the trust to go out there into the public and take care of the public, and I let you down. You're you're the big dog. You're the real deal. and I let you down, and it's been heartbreaking since this incident occurred. You know, my chief's like, hey, you know, sometimes we make mistakes and things happen, and you know, yeah, you probably could have made a better choice, but you know, you're taking responsibility for it, and I just feel like I really let you down, you know, and it's embarrassing. It's heartbreaking.
What, did you just go in and resign when you got back in to the department?
I did exactly what they told me. Now let me tell you this, investigator. I'm not very familiar with civilian ways of life coming out of the military, so I wasn't really sure what to do. So they said, hey, just resign and take care of it, and if you take care of it and you want to come back, we will gladly take you back. But I didn't for a while, and I was just like, I felt like I wasn't worthy to hold that badge and to represent the citizens of Georgia, because I let them down, you know, and so I didn't. But then Chris Wilson, my chief's like, hey, I really need you. I need you to help me. And I was like, I don't know, man, because I feel like I was just really depressed about it and upset about it. So he convinced me. He said, look, let's just I'm going to hire you, and we'll work it out, and we'll try to figure out what's going on. But honestly, investigator, now let me just say this. I have no idea what happened. I just completely blanked out. And when I woke up in the jail, I was fine. There was nothing, you know, there was no hangover. You know, they told me what happened, and I was so embarrassed. But at the end of the day, I just got to take responsibility for it. Like, it was not intentional by any means. I would never jeopardize myself or my integrity or my values like that. I believe I got roofied. I really do. I wish I could have proved it, but my doctor was like, it's too late. We can't test for it because it's been over 48 hours. And I was like, man. But when I asked myself these things, you know, what happened, blah, 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 blah. At the end, investigator, it was my decision that could have been better.
Do you understand that there is video from the bar?
Yes, I do. I know there's videos from it. I have not seen it. She sent me the video, and I can't. She, you know, my attorney. So one of the things she said was, you know, the guy at the bar said that the lady came up and accused me of touching her butt. She walked up and she asked me, she said, did you touch my butt? And I apparently I responded no, and something happened between her and I have no idea. But in the report, it said something about she grabbed my behind, but I had no response. And at the end of the day, I just got to take responsibility for it. Now, I was told that the bartender said yes. I attempted to leave. I attempted to walk away when the argument started, and I attempted to leave the bar, not get involved. But I guess I got surrounded at some point by people. The video she provided me, I couldn't open up.
Gotcha.
So at the point, I felt like, okay, well, if I got surrounded, she's like, yeah, you did get surrounded, and you did feel threatened at that point. But again, investigator, I'm not going to make excuses, because even if that were the case, you know, I feel like whatever influence I was under, which I don't believe was alcohol, because I only had the one, I felt like I still could have made a better choice. You know, like, if I said to you right now, hey, sir, listen, I got surrounded, and this happened, and I drew my weapon, and I tried to back out after I tried to leave initially, I could tell you that. But at the end, investigator, the right answer is to say, hey, investigator, look, here's what happened. I didn't get involved. I could have done something better. You know, I could have just walked away. If I would have covered my drink like I know to do, this would have never happened. So it was a poor choice on my behalf. Or I should say, hey, investigator, what happened is I should have, you know, watched where I was going and what was going on before I entered there, and I didn't. I did not, and it's heartbreaking.
Gotcha. So your claim is that you believe you got roofied. Now, in watching the video, is it going to show you maintaining, or you losing control of that drink where somebody's put something in it, or are you going to be holding that drink?
No, they don't have all the video. They just had the video of the incident, according to my lawyer. Which they dropped a lot of the charges, and that's where a lot of the stuff was reduced. And they weren't able to, according to my lawyer, they weren't able to find everything on there that collaborates her story or my story, because I don't have a lot of memory of what happened. the judge kind of was like, well, he kind of understood. He was like, I get it. I could see where this was happening. So, like I say, he just allowed me to pay the fines off and be done with it, and nothing else happened. But
and
I was able to.
That menacing charge.
I gave you my lawyer's information. She has more information on it.
No, that's fine. The menacing charge come from you pointing a gun at him. Just think
Correct.
if you would have been in
Yes.
Georgia, what that charge would be.
Right. Well, the reason why it was menacing is because, according to them, well, like I said, they gave me my weapon back. They only made me pay a fine. They kind of balanced it out because, the bartender said, well, yes, he attempted to leave and not get involved with it, but they surrounded him. So I don't know why they continued on with that charge, unless it was just. One of the issues was, I guess, their DA, I think his girlfriend was involved in it as well.
The prosecutor, yeah.
Yeah, so she was involved, and I don't know any of these people. Like I said, I would never do anything that would jeopardize myself or put myself in this predicament.
Well, he was
and
there.
I would never act like that ever. Like I'm, my 30 years in the military, I believe in Army values, and I practice those values every single day, whether they're in personal life or they're in at my work life. And I would, I just would never do anything like this, and I just don't know what happened. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before, and I feel like there was an outside influence, investigator, but I just don't have an appropriate reason to give you.
Yeah. No, the prosecutor was there. He was there on scene.
Right.
So. All right. Well, a lot of my detailed questions would be around, specific events that you're saying you don't remember. So I don't have much else for you as far as questioning. Do you have any questions of me or Post?
No, sir. I told my chief and I told everybody, I said, listen, at the end of the day, I let Post down, and I don't know, my sole purpose in life, investigator, is just to serve the public and take care of the people that supported me in my 6 deployments, and they stood on the side. And I believe that, I don't do it for money. I just believe that I should give back to the community. And I cannot believe that I let you guys down like that. Like, this is something that doesn't occur with me. And I have no excuse other than maybe I just should have made a better choice. It's heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah. And you keep saying you're letting us down, but you've never mentioned yourself. I mean, the buck stops with you. You let yourself down. You made some poor decisions, and not only did you let yourself down.
I beat myself up on it. Believe me when I tell you, investigator, I beat myself up on a daily basis. And when chief said, when people say, hey, look, sometimes things happen and it gets out. Yeah, but I made that choice. It was my responsibility. And I, for 1 minute, I got undisciplined for a second and didn't do the routine. It wasn't intentional, but at the end of the day, those were, it's my responsibility to take. And I told the judge that too. My lawyer's like, we can take it to court and all that. We could take it to trial and all this other stuff. I said, I just feel like I just could have made a better choice, and I did it. Yeah. And it's heartbreaking to me, but the reason why, I say you, is because you're the standard. You know what I'm saying? You are the state standard. You are what everybody's supposed to live up to. And I should never disappoint you, ever. I fear disappointing you, and that's what happened. I disappointed you. And that's every day. There's not a day that goes by, so, since this incident occurred, that I don't think about it and I don't have regrets. So, and I understand, your position and everything.
Well, my position is just to find the facts of what happened. And take it before the council and let the council just, make a decision on what happens. We're just fact finders. We don't put any personal.
No, I understand. And you're doing a job. And Chief asked me, he's like, well, are you going to get a lawyer? And I said, no, I'm going to talk to the investigator and tell him the truth. I don't think he should be drugged through all this because of my silly shit. I'm just going to tell him the God's honest truth, and what happens because it's the right answer.
Just to kind of give you an overview of what happens if you're not familiar, whenever I finish, gathering all the facts and reviewing all the videos and statements and all that kind of stuff, I'll write an executive summary, and it'll go to the probable cause committee the next time they meet. They're going to meet the end of this month. Of course, your case won't make it in time, so it should go on the next probable cause calendar, which will probably be late summer. late summer, and once
Okay.
it goes through probable cause, they will make a vote.
Okay.
And that committee's made up of different chiefs and sheriffs and lawyers and officers and stuff like that. So you'll have a wide variety of people that'll be, given a decision on what they think should happen to your
Yes, sir.
certification. And once they make that vote, then it goes on the next general council meeting date. And the big general council will either adopt that recommendation or they'll change it. And after they meet, they will issue, their verdict, so to say, and they will mail out a decision to you. So keep your information on the Post Data Gateway up to date as far as your address and all, because that's where they will send the letter to. Now, depending on what they decide to do, there'll be some verbiage in there that'll tell you about appeals and, how many days you got if you want to appeal it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is worst case scenario. They could say, no action. They could put you on probation and suggest some things they want you to take.
I would just like to know, I would just like you to, if you could just say, hey, listen, he is taking responsibility for it. I mean, I don't know what you put in your report. I don't know how you put it in there when we talk about it. It's just, I don't know.
I put in the facts of what was discovered, and those facts are backed up by reports and videos and statements. I put the information from the court system in there, and then I put what you told me during an interview. And that's all I put in. I don't suggest anything. I don't give an opinion. I just put...
No, I understand that. No, that's what I'm saying.
What I learned.
I just like them to know that I did conversate with you, and I did tell you that what I believed occurred.
Sure.
But that's fine. And that's all I could ask for.
Yep, that's exactly what will happen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and, it's just heartbreaking, brother. I mean, I can't believe this happened.
Yes, sir. Well, best of luck to you. If you need anything, reach out. You can shoot me an email. You should have a letter from Post with my information on it.
I've got an email like a year ago.
Okay. If not, if you got something to write with, I'll go ahead and give you my phone number again and give you my email address. So if you've got any questions or want to check on your case status in, 4 or 5 months, you're more than welcome to shoot me an email.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
All righty. Best of luck to you.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
All right, bye.
When I come up in there, I'm like, bro, chill out. They took me to jail. Chill out. Chill out.